Magandang araw po sa ating lahat. Good day to all of us. Ako po si Deborah Garcia and welcome to this series of lessons where you will learn not just the theories and form of the language but also the function and the usage. And as I promised in the previous lesson, today we are going to answer the question when to use my and when to use mayroon. Actually, the question came from one of my friends who is eagerly studying the Filipino language, and that question made me spend 2 weeks to look for the answer. So, if you're ready, grab your pen and paper and let us learn all about conversational Filipino. So, let us examine these two words, my and mayroon. My at mayroon means has or have, as we always use in the previous sentences I gave you. It's always has or have. Or, I forgot to mention to you, but maybe you've noticed already that in some of the translation of the sentences I gave you, my or mayroon can also be translated as there is. And if you're asking a question, then you would say, is there? Someone asked me, I think it was Harvey. He commented in one of my videos that he noticed that when Filipinos say my, we also say may. So he asked, which one is the correct pronunciation? Is it really my? Because in Filipino, we don't have the A sound, right? So we never read this as may. It's always my, and this is the spelling of it. But in spoken Filipino, it becomes complicated because some people, especially when they are speaking really fast, they just mispronounce some words. And then it became acceptable because almost everyone's doing it. So when we are saying my in a sentence, we could say may. But when we are reading this alone, like this word, it could never be read as may. It's always my. Okay? But in a sentence, for example, may lapis doon. There is a pencil there. Then you wouldn't say my lapis. Usually people would say may lapis doon. So my became may when it is used in the sentence and when it is spoken only, okay? But when it is written, it is spelled as this. When you are reading it, then it will be read as my. Okay? Same with this one. Mayroon. Actually, in spoken Filipino, we say meron. So, but actually, the correct pronunciation is this one, mayroon. But as I said, in spoken Filipino, when we tend to speak really fast, we somehow accepted these pronunciations, may and meron. Okay, let's start with my. Do not stress yourselves with this because we don't care. And if you ask a native speaker of the Tagalog language about the rule, the grammar rule of this one, they wouldn't know. I didn't know as well. So, but for the sake of answering the question, so my is used to precede a noun, verb, adjective, or adverb, except for adverb of place. So it is said here that you are only going to use my if the next word to it is a noun, a verb, adjective, or an adverb, except for the adverb of place. Okay, let's go to the first sentence. May aso si Ben. So after the word may, we have the word aso. Aso means dog. So what does this mean? Ben has a dog. My here is has because Ben is singular. Okay, has or have, but Ben is singular, so my is has. We can go ahead and make this my here as there is if we change the sentence, but it would still talk about Ben and the dog. So we can change the sentence into may aso sa bahay ni Ben. We will write this down. May aso sa bahay ni Ben. Like this. So the my here will change from has to there is. My aso again, sa bahay. I know you're familiar with this word. Bahay is what? House, right? So, my aso sa bahay ni Ben means there is a dog. Bahay ni Ben is Ben's house, because remember, we don't have the apostrophe S in Tagalog language. So we would say bahay ni Ben. It would be translated as Ben's house. So there is a dog in Ben's house. So now my here became there is from has. Okay? What about for the verb? So, second sentence says, may kumakanta sa CR. Root verb, kanta, to sing. CR. I gave you a lot of sentences before using this word CR. CR means what? Washroom, bathroom. We call it CR, comfort room. Okay? In the Philippines, we say CR. So, may kumakanta. Kanta is to sing. Kumakanta is in the present tense. Sa CR. Preposition, and then there's a place there, CR. Well, in English, you would say there is someone singing in the washroom. There's someone singing in the washroom. But in the Tagalog language, we don't say someone. When we use this, there is, and the verb would suggest that someone is doing the action already. So we are missing the word someone here, because when we say this in Tagalog, we don't have to put the word someone, unlike in English where you really have to. So there is someone singing in the washroom. That's how you translate this in English. So here, the my here means there is. Okay? There is. And because this one is a verb, so we are going to use my. If someone would say merong with the NG, merong kumakanta sa CR. Well, for spoken Filipino, it is accepted. We wouldn't notice that. No one would tell you that, no, kumakanta is verb, you should use mayroon or meron. No one. Filipinos would not notice, because as I said, for spoken Filipinos, may or mayroon can be used interchangeably. So don't stress out yourself about this. Okay. So for this one, the third example or the third sentence says, may malaking bangka si lolo. We use may, malaki. Root word malaki. This is just a connector, NG. So malaki is an adjective. Malaki means big. Bangka is boat. Si lolo. Lolo is grandpa. So when we are going to translate it, you would say lolo or grandpa has a big boat. Grandpa has a big boat. So my here means has. And we use my because the next word to it is an adjective. Malaki or big. Okay? And then the last one, it says, may dahan-dahan na bumaba sa hagdan. Dahan-dahan. After the may, we have the word dahan-dahan. It means slowly. This is an adverb of manner, right? It's an adverb of manner. So we are going to use may. And then, slowly bumaba. Root verb, baba. Baba. And we inserted an here. It's in the past tense. So, bumaba. Going down or went down, because it's in the past tense. Went down the stairs. Hagdan is stairs. So, may again, it's like this one. So, it is an adverb, so we use may, and then we don't have the translation of someone. It is just giving us a clue that there should be a someone here. There is someone who slowly went down the stairs. There is someone who slowly went down the stairs. Okay, now let's go to mayroon or meron. So, mayroon is used when it is followed by a personal pronoun, adverb of place, and a word particle. So, there are only three here. Personal pronoun, adverb of place, and then or when it is followed by a word particle. So, for the first example, personal pronoun, I put it in the second sentence. So, for personal pronoun, it says, mayroon siyang bangka. Siya is he or she. In the previous example, Lolo has a big boat, right? And then here, if we are going to change Lolo into he, then it would say he has a boat. So we use mayroon, not my. It's because siya is a personal pronoun. Then, for the adverb of place, we say, mayroon ditong aso. So here, if dito means here. So dito is an adverb of place, here. So we would say, there is a dog here. Mayroon in here is not has or have, it's there is. So there is a dog here. And we use mayroon because dito is an adverb of place. NG here is just a connector. So your sentence would not sound broken. You cannot say, mayroon dito aso. It's broken. So we need to put NG there. So mayroon ditong aso, or if it's spoken, you would say meron ditong aso. You will read this as meron. But it's not wrong to say mayroon as well, okay? But it's just common, meron is just commonly used as the pronunciation of this one. So, okay, how about a word particle? And this is what I meant when in the Filipino language, we always use this na, naman, lang. So here, mayroon na akong bagong phone. Phone. Know that. Okay. Na is a word particle, but in English, it could mean already. Already. Ako. Ako is I. We put NG there as a connector, so it won't sound broken. Bago. Bago is the root word, means new, and then another NG here as a connector. So we use mayroon because it is followed by a word particle. Anyway, even if we did not have this, since ako is also a personal pronoun, we still are going to use mayroon. So I already have a new phone. I already have a new phone. We can use my here. How do we change this one so that we can use my? We need to remove this one. We need to put something after this so that we can use my. If we are going to interchange aso and dito, then your sentence will become my aso dito. I'm gonna write that down. My aso dito. Your aso became the second word, so you will not use mayroon anymore. You are going to use my, because aso is a noun, and then your adverb of place became last. So you can say meron ditong aso, or you can say my aso dito. How about this one? Can we change this? Mayroon siyang bangka. We are going to change this into my bangka siya. Here. Now, your bangka, your boat became next. So, you will not use mayroon, you will use my. Because now my is followed by what do you call this? A noun, bangka, boat. And then your pronoun, siya, became last. So, two ways. You can say, mayroon siyang bangka or meron siyang bangka. Or you can say, may bangka siya. How about this one? Can you change it into My, yes, you are going to put bago after the word mayroon. So this one will become my. And then you would say, because bago is an adjective, right? In the first rule, you can use my if the next word would be an adjective. So you will put your adjective here. You would say, may bagong phone na ako. May bagong phone na ako. See? Then your mayroon became my, because now next to it is an adjective. And your word particle is in here, and your pronoun is the last one. So, meron na akong bagong phone or may bagong phone na ako. Okay, last one. We cannot just leave this out because it is important as well. So, for my and mayroon interrogatives, what does it mean? When you're asking a question using my and mayroon, this will be the, I would not say pattern, it's still the same rule, okay? But I am just going to show you how you can interchange them so that you can use my or mayroon. But we're just gonna analyze the sentences first. Actually, these are from the previous sentences I gave you. I just made them into a question form. So the first one is, may malaking bangka ba si Lolo? So you're asking, malaki again is big, right? And then Lolo is grandpa, bangka is boat. So, may malaking bangka ba si Lolo? You're asking if does Lolo have a big boat? So, it's a question mark. Doesn't have, the word does. Does not have an equivalent in Tagalog because we already use my. It's already a question, so it could be has, have, or there is. So, may malaking bangka ba si Lolo? In English, does Lolo have a big boat? Does Lolo have a big boat? Now, as I said, it's the same rule that will apply. If you are going to use my and mayroon, you need to look at the next word to it. Malaki is an adjective, right? So, you're going to use my, not mayroon. So, may malaking, you can say may, right? May malaking bangka ba si Lolo? So, you're asking if Lolo has a big boat. Now, how are you going to make this one mayroon? You just going to interchange this one. What are you going to put after my? Malaking bangka cannot be interchanged because this is an adjective describing the boat. So, you're going to take this one, the ba. Ba is a word particle. When Filipinos are asking questions, usually we use ba. I discussed the question forms in the previous lesson. You might want to, review that. So, ba, we can put ba after my. So, we say, mayroon. We can use mayroon because we are going to put ba, right? So we say mayroon bang. I'm gonna write that down. Mayroon bang, and then malaking bangka. Meron bang malaking bangka si Lolo? There, that's your question. Mayroon bang malaking bangka si Lolo? Or you read this as, meron bang malaking bangka si Lolo? So you put ba here, the word particle next to has or have, so now you can use mayroon. Okay, it's the same with this one. So this one, we started with mayroon. We are going to change this to my. So here, meron bang aso si Ben? So mayroon, we use mayroon here because the next word is a word particle. How about if we are going to make this question as starting with my? So my, what are we going to put next to my? Noun, verb, adjective, adverb, except for adverb of place. So, what's the noun here? Aso. We can put aso. May aso ba si Ben? So, Meron bang aso si Ben? Or may aso ba si Ben? It's the same. It's the same question. Okay, here. So we use adjective here. We use word particle, word particle. We use noun here. How about this one? We use the verb. So, may kumakanta ba sa CR? Do you still remember? Kumakanta is singing. So, is there someone singing in the washroom? Is there someone singing in the washroom? May kumakanta ba sa CR? We use may because kumakanta is kanta is a verb. So, how about if we are going to use mayroon? Then, it's the same. We put the word particle after the word mayroon. Meron bang kumakanta sa CR? I think I don't have to write that down. It's just the same format as this one. Meron bang, meron bang. So, meron bang kumakanta sa CR? That's how you're going to change it to mayroon from may. Okay, I hope my little research answered your question. I know there were a lot. I did not expect that there would be a lot of theories behind it. It was a very simple question, when to use my and mayroon, and then we have a whole lesson just for that question. But don't worry, you don't have to know all those rules. Anyway, we Filipinos wouldn't notice if you use one of them by mistake. So, thank you so much for watching my lesson still. And if you would like to do some exercises for the previous series, there were 18 lessons in the previous series. They are all in Gobi languages. You can go ahead and download the app. It's free. If you're using iPhone, just download Gobi languages. And if you're using Android or in your computers, you can go to their website, www.gobilanguages.com. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and see you again in the next lesson. Bye!